This is William with another video for Play-agricola.com's YouTube channel and twitch.tv/play_agricola. I'm playing an aqwty France deck G45 G8 game with Joshy, aqwty, and Spilla 1041. So, let's take a look. Some of the cards we don't know. At the end of the game, if you live in a clay hut, you get 1 bonus point for each of your improvements with the clay cost and for every 2 rooms. So it's Stone Curator, but for clay. Ranch Overseer. 4 wood occupation. At the end of the game, all players with the most cattle points receive 3 points. So cattle points means that everyone could theoretically win at 4. Clay Curator seems pretty good. Like, it's, you know, it can be easier to build a bunch of clay rooms than a bunch of stone rooms, although, and you know, clay improvements can be easier to build than stone improvements. I think though this Ranch Overseer seems pretty strong, especially if we're going to wheel a card like Animal Dealer. Animal Dealer can help me to get 4 points out of cattle, so Ranch Overseer looks good here. Alright. Basin Maker's Son. Whenever you convert a board of food during the feeding phase of a harvest, you receive 2 wood. Cloister Brewer. Harvest at least 2-3 grain. Convert up to 1-2 to 4-6 food, so it gives you automatic baking. It's not exactly baking, but... So Wheat Farmer plus Cloister Brewer is a combo for sure. Bridge Farmer is interesting. Red Dirt Girl. Live in a clay hut. You get a grain, a reed, and a food whenever you use a clay accumulation space. That looks amazing. That looks incredibly strong. A grain, a reed, and a food whenever you use a clay accumulation space. So this is like, it looks like a pretty great payoff for just being in a clay house and building clay rooms. And imagine if you get any sort of minor support, like clay supports or whatever. Yeah, looks really good. Bridge Farmer could be good with Ranch Overseer, but take Red Dirt Girl here. Barn Watchman. Whenever you use take a grain, build a stable at no cost. Not really planning to do that. So it looks to me like the pick is probably Art Director. Debris Dealer could be okay if I renoed a clay house early, but Art Director is very solid overall. Art Director plus Ranch Overseer means I can definitely build the first room, and then maybe I renoed a clay immediately afterwards. Yeah, Art Director is very good. Those 2 cards make my my 4-wood occupation and my Art Director means I'm gonna have very good actions to take in stage 1. So I hope you guys are doing well today. It's been raining a lot the last 24 hours, so it's cooled off a bit, which is good. Doesn't look too nice out though, it's very gray. I imagine we're probably getting more rain later. Okay. Meteorologist, start of each round ending with a harvest, sow one good into an empty field. So it's an automatic sow action. Clay buyer, play an aq including this one clay on the next 2 round spaces. Start of the round you receive the clay. That looks pretty solid. Groupie. Do I need to take Groupie out of the game just because of art director? I wonder if I need to take Groupie out of the game. Clay buyer looks quite strong. Will generate a lot of clay. And with that plus red dirt girl, I should definitely be able to get up to 5 rooms. Alright, let's take it. Let's take it. So I think what I'm hoping for now is round 1 is clay buyer and 2 wood, I guess. Or maybe an clay buyer and a start player action. And then round 2 could be something like art director, traveling players, and then round 3 is maybe ranch overseer, reedstone food, something like that. Clay curator wheeled. Yeah, clay curator wheeled. So I think that's the pick here. Should for this looks like I should be able to get up to 6 clay rooms. So then if we could wheel Tavern Keeper would be points and food and grain. So that seems alright. Should have a ton of clay. And so now I'm gonna want to take clay miners. It's for each of your improvements with a clay cost, not each other. So this is even stronger than Stone Curator. Giving a bonus point to, like, it gives a bonus point to the fireplace and the cooking hearth and the ovens, which are already good cards. Yeah, Clay Curator is probably a little too good. Bridge Farmer wheeled. No reason to take anything other than Bridge Farmer, I don't think. So if we can use Bridge Farmer, so if we can get some access to cattle from our miners, then Bridge Farmer would be fantastic for the fields. But if we don't, then Bridge Farmer can just be a 2 cattle action that also gives clay and does other stuff. Welcome, Gray. That's true. I'm not going to go up to stone. But the other cards were all unplayable. It was like, what was the best card? Maybe Pen Builder? I also kind of just want to take Bridge Farmer out of the game. Like, I have Ranch Overseer here, and Ranch Overseer wants everybody to get lots of cattle. So I think just taking Bridge Farmer, even as a 1 cattle action, is probably fine. And if it's a 2 plow action, then it's fine as well. with my clay buyer. I have pretty good incentive to play a bunch of occupations. But you're right in that I'm not planning to go to a stone house. Tavern Keeper wheeled. So Tenant Farmer is interesting because Tenant Farmer plus Bridge Farmer gets me that breeding pair of cattle. But Tavern Keeper, I think with Red Dirt Girl, like, I have a very strong incentive to build a lot of clay rooms. So like if we build a wood room initially, then we run out of clay and build a ton of clay rooms. Tavern Keeper could give a lot. Now, it gives food and grain, which Red Dirt Girl also gives grain, but with Clay Buyer and Clay Curator, I have pretty good incentives to do stuff like building the clay ovens. So I think I'd take Tavern Keeper over Tenant Farmer here. Okay. Let's read the cards I don't know. Thatcher's Crook. Whenever you pay redo, extend your home, renovate, or play an improvement, you receive a grain. Okay, it's a way to get a bunch of grain. Once during the game, when you use plow, you may immediately take a sow action afterwards. That seems pretty strong. You're turning the plow space into a plow sow space. Yeah, I'll have one clay supports, please. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Dead branches, wood on the next, on each on 3 action spaces from the supply. Okay, so this is like the, I can't think of the name. Fromage, cheese. I can't think of the name. It's the card that puts stuff immediately and then people can take it, which is probably pretty strong. I kind of like Tuileries Garden here. Tuileries Garden gets me vegetables. Like, I won't need the grain, but it'll get me vegetables, which could be pretty nice. However, what I'd really like is a plow. A plow would be better than Tuileries Garden. Yeah, fertile soil seems pretty good. I guess if I take Tuileries, I might wheel fertile soil, depending on how people value it. Like dead branches might get taken, maybe Thatcher's Crook, probiotic food, maybe we wheel fertile soil. And then fertile soil plus Tuileries looks like a pretty strong interaction. Getting this stone might be difficult because we might not get the Reedstone food space all that many times because we're going to be focusing on occupations and then getting reed from our art director rather than getting stone. But maybe once Red Dirt Girl is online, then we can get some stone. Oh man. It's pretty tough for me to pass boarding school. Lean to stable. 1 and 3 to the current. So this is, yeah, you build a couple stables, which is fine. Yeah, it's very difficult for me to pass boarding school here. Even if I don't get to double grow with it, just the fact that it'll, you know, playing 2 occupations, I'm going to want to play out all my occupations, I think. So, yeah. If I can make double growth work, it'll be extremely strong. Like maybe I play Clay Curator, Tavern Keeper at the end of the game or something. It's very difficult to pass boarding school because it can do some really silly stuff. So I haven't really seen any great clay caustic miners yet. Hope we start to get some of those, although we can try to build major improvements. We'll need a lot of clay, but Red Dirt Girl gives us a pretty great incentive to take a lot of clay. And Clay Buyer should Should get a good amount of clay. What do you mean by that, Rylocren? Like it's not yeah, I'm not sure exactly. Winter work contract. Play on a round with a harvest. 3 wood on this card. Whenever you use day labor, you get one of those woods. One of those wood. Once all the wood is gone, play an occupation for 1 food. Yeah, if you want a day labor, but I don't want a day labor. Flat Hill I don't think works well with this hand. Sofa, same thing. So Brazier is better than normal. Don't need Country Silo. Piggy Bank is okay with Art Director. Piggy Bank is okay with Art Director, but we could take one of these clay miners here. Whenever you play an improvement, including this one, place 1 building resource from your supply on this card. At the end of the game, you receive 1 bonus point for each type of building resource on this card. So the way this is working is it's sort of like Hoarder, except that you, instead of placing during the harvest, you place when you're playing improvements. I mean, putting clay on this card, if I just put clay on this card, this is a wood and 2 clay for 3 points. So wood and 2 clay for 3 points is fine. I don't think I really need Brazier. The question is it better than Piggy Bank? Because if I do something like round 1 start player clay buyer or occupation clay buyer into start player Piggy Bank, round 2 Art Director into traveling players. So let's say I start second, so I go from 3 to 2, 2 to 1 for Piggy Bank, 1 to 0 Art Director, then I take 3 food, pay 1, then round 3 I'm at 2, go down to 1, round 4 I'm going to go down to 0, and I need to take 3 food Art Director, so that means I would have to take another food action from somewhere if I wanted to Piggy Bank. Like Art Director's not quite enough on its own. But maybe it's good enough. Piggy Bank when I want to play a bunch of occupations I don't like so much, but I guess I'm probably gonna wheel Art Shop or Brazier. Oh, Flower Pots is pretty great. I should read the other cards though. Old Hog Pen. Bore in a wood. Rearrange the fences on your farm and plow up to 2 fields. Paying a boar to plow 2 fields immediately is pretty good. Kind of wish I had taken the give 1 of each type of animal, because that would help me play that. Seed Plow. Once in the game you may plow 2 additional fields, and sow 1 additional crop when you use the plow 1 field and or sow action space. Oh, I see. So this is saying if I use it on plow, it's plow 3, or if I use it on plow sow, it's plow 2 and sow an additional good. Well, if I do get that that card that lets me sow after a plow action, that would let me get a lot of points from plows just with 1 action. Although it is difficult for me not to pass flower pots here, especially with clay buyer. Seed Plow looks really good, but Flower Pots has got an extra point on it from Clay Curator. It's too difficult to, like, I want both of them. I want Seed Plow and Flower Pots, but I'm going to take Flower Pots. Yeah. Fertile Soil Wield. Oh man, I wish I had, yeah. That plow would have been pretty great to set up. You don't have to plow it all through the game. I can ignore Tuileries Garden. Just set up plow 1 field, plow 3, and sow in round 14. Like that could be a good number of points on its own. So then, you know, building ovens with Piggy Bank looks pretty good. Or, you know, maybe I build the pottery because of how much clay I'm going to have coming in or whatever. Yeah, Twillery seems difficult to make work. But there is an nice interaction with fertile soil, so maybe we play it. I mean, with Piggy Bank, I don't need stone, and not going to a stone house, I don't need so much stone. So putting the stone into Willeries is not so bad. Not as much of a cost as it sometimes is. I guess I could take Harrow. I don't know. Don't really see myself playing any of these. Like, if I don't play Twillery's Garden, then Potato Dibber is okay. It's not great, though. I might not sow more than one vegetable. Lean-to Stable looks good, but I don't think I'm going to want to play it. I'd rather play Piggy Bank and Flower Pots, maybe Boarding School. I could play Harrow. Harrow to combo with Fertile Soil seems okay. But giving other people plows is not always good. It seems like it might be difficult to get the points from Ranch Overseer. But Ranch Overseer as a 4-wood action is still pretty... 4 wood and 2 clay. Like, I'm going to have access to like a stupid number of building resources this game. Because Piggy Bank saves me on building resources too. So I do not want 3 wood with this hand. I absolutely would like to Occupation. Because I want to get Art Director out in round 2. Because if Art Director comes out round 3, then someone's going to take 3 food traveling players ahead of me. And part of the powers of Art Director is being able to use the traveling player space multiple times in stage 1. Alright, let's get this show on the road. Let's get this show on the road. So the name of the game for me looks like actions, because if I have a lot of actions, I can do a lot. You know, Art Director is going to give me solid options. Clay Buyer is going to mean that playing Occupations is always going to be reasonable. Red Dirt Girl, I mean, I'll take 2 clay. I'll take 2 clay every round with Red Dirt Girl. 2 clay, a grain of food, and a reed. Like, do that twice, there's a clay room. And oh, I've gotten 2 food and 2 reed out of it as well. Razor Wield, so. Didn't really get there on the clay improvements for Clay Curator, but if I'm getting 1 bonus point per clay room. Like 1 bonus point per clay room seems like too much. Alright, so we start in 4th. Hopefully we get occupation and start player. That's the goal with this hand. But more likely to probably get 3 wood and day labor, or 3 wood and plow. But you know what? 3 wood is being taken more highly this game. You know, I don't know. I've noticed 3 wood is going higher than expensive occupations, so we will see. The cycle of meta continues. Before I would have said you always would take expensive Ock over 3 wood, or at least that's what I would always see taken. But recently 3 wood has gone up in value a lot. Well, not recently, but that's the current. I would say that's the current meta, is that 3 wood is taking over expensive Ock. Which is nice, because if you have an Ock that you need to get out in round 1, then, you know, it's nice if you can get it out. Rifleman. We didn't see this one. Arrow marker in the intersection between 4 action spaces. Yeah. Oh, Spella, no. Oh, no. What's the payout? 3/4, you get a grain or a vegetable. So you can mark this space, and if both occupation spaces are used and traveling players or plow, you get a grain. I guess traveling players doesn't get used all that often, so maybe that's not a good choice, but early game, the 2 occupation spaces are nice to mark. And then you're giving yourself the option a lot of the time to take traveling players. Excuse me. So it'd be a vegetable every round if you could mark these spaces. It'd be a vegetable or a grain every round. Which would be kind of ridiculous. Oh, bad. I just want to play a game. Why? I don't understand why they took the 2 clay. I don't understand. Yeah, this is why you can't... Yeah. There's a lot of language involved in this game, especially with the new cards. Alright, well, it seems like we might miss out on Clay Buyer as our first stock, because very likely we need to art director into two food traveling players next round. If aqwty doesn't take 2 clay, Spell It will. Yeah, this is how I'm feeling. They expend 9. All right. One food traveling players got taken. Oh, don't I love this game. Don't I love this game. Let me count the ways I love this game. Oh, man. All right. I'm going to play Clay Buyer here. Our room is going to be slower than it could be if I don't play Clay Buyer, but I'm going to play Clay Buyer. And hopefully Traveling Players doesn't continue to get taken so that I can play Art Director next round and take it. Although again, yeah. I mean, I could take Traveling Players at 2 food and at 1 food, like that's fine, but it's much better if you do it at 2 food, 2 food. Don't like the name of Clay Buyer. Yeah. It should be like, so it gives you clay when you play occupation. So it's something like, it should be called like field learner or something. Digging learner. Like the way that you learn is by digging, and it turns up clay while you're learning. Yeah, the fact that it doesn't buy is kind of odd. But just needed a name, I suppose. Expensive art director here, I think. I'll put a food on Piggy. So having four clay come in before the end of stage 1, maybe we don't play Ranch Overseer and maybe we just reno and build clay rooms. Get Red Dirt Girl online as soon as possible. Especially because I missed out on 2 read. Might be a good option. Joshy start player lean 2 stable. That's what I get for passing that card. Minor that has to be played. A decent minor that has to be played before round 7. This means you're going to end up going last when you pass it. Unfortunately. Hopefully Reno isn't round 7. Yeah, yeah, good point, the Epic Raffle. If Reno's early, then this could work pretty well. But I still need a bunch of read. I mean, I can build a room easily enough. If I take read from Traveling Players twice, and I play Ranch Overseer, then I just have to pick up wood once, but I think getting Red Dirt Girl online is appealing, especially because I didn't really get there on the holding cattle thing and the getting a source of cattle. So giving up the points for Ranch Overseer is a little less desirable now. I mean, I'm not necessarily giving them up. I can still prioritize the cattle highly, but So first action, 3 wood, I suppose. Although it might not get to me. I wouldn't mind 2 food traveling players and 3 food fishing. The problem with taking 3 food fishing is that I'm encouraging someone to take 2 food traveling players. And if I first action 2 food traveling players, I guess I could second action occupation in that case. Or second action start player flower pots. Yeah. Expensive Ock is very good for Spella. It's got a vegetable on it. I'll grab an extra food and a reed. So yeah, 3 food fishing would be fine. Otherwise, start player flower pots looks okay. Joshy thinking. I hope he's not thinking about start playering again. Don't do it, Joshy. Don't do it. I mean, he's taking fishing, right? 3 food fishing with a wood on it with joiner. I don't see. I think that seems clear to me. Yeah, I agree. And he did. So Spella probably plays an occupation, getting a vegetable. Sheep hasn't come out yet, which makes that 2 clay fireplace a decent amount worse. So Spella might be able to just build the cooking hearth and also have first access to the sheep. First occupation, surf for aqwty. Okay. There were grain cards out there, that's for sure. Whoops. Spella plays Animal Dealer. Yeah, Ranch Overseer doesn't seem too appealing anymore. Alright, we'll go ahead and play Flower Pots here. And not be last anymore. You can't make me be last, Joshy. And we'll put a food on Piggy. I need food. I think I'm kind of obligated to Reedstone food here. Reedstone food and then second action traveling players. Yeah, that's the only thing that lets me continue to buy off of my piggy. Off my piggy bank. And then round 5 we try to play Red Dirt Girl and take clay. Yeah. No. If I buy for Piggy I have no food. So I can't buy Piggy this round. Yeah, having to pass 4 wood feels bad. Yep. Yep, but it looks like I'm not building a wood room, so I don't feel so bad. Yeah, it would be nice to go into round 5 with the food though, so that I can play another occupation like Red Dirt Girl. I'm going to take FS here. Feed 4, no pig. Joshy gets that first room. I wonder if Spella will start player into 6 wood. aqwty, if aqwty doesn't take 6 wood here, I guess there's a chance I get 6 wood. If aqwty does something that interacts with riflemen, but no, aqwty start player. So we're hoping Spella takes 3 wood now, so that 6 wood doesn't get passed around. Spade. Whenever you sow, you get a stone. Okay. Well, there was that card that lets you sow 1 field each harvest. The start of each harvest round. And I mean, I guess Surf sows a decent amount. Three wood is taken. Good. Alright, let's click on new round. It's Reno. Alright, I'm pretty happy to see Reno. I'm pretty happy to see Reno. Although the good clay actions might disappear this round. It would be nice if I had a better improvement to play on Reno, because I don't really have an improvement to play on Reno. Because unless I build the joinery, that's the only thing I could build, I guess. Unless I want to play Red Dirt Girl and wait until next round of Reno and then build the 2 clay fireplace. But I think renovating this round makes a lot of sense, so that I can first action take clay next round, and then also start getting grain. Or I could Traveling Players again. I could Red Dirt Girl and Traveling Players. And if I do that, then I can continue buying for my piggy. But my piggy bank could come in round 8 or 9. That would be fine. It doesn't have to come in before round 7. Yeah, I think I'm going to do this. We could build the joinery, I suppose. I could play boarding school on Reno. I could do that. Brazier, but I don't really want to take a 1 sheep action. Brazier is not really good if I do anything other than take a sheep. And I mean, I can play Brazier on Family Growth later. It doesn't have to come out now. Joshy, start player probiotic food. So Joshy's ready to build the... Wow, aqwty Renoed. Okay. Yeah, that's a thing. Looks like they're going to might be rushing up to stone with that stonehouse reconstruction, but yeah, I wonder how they plan to grow. I guess I could take 3 wood and build. I need food though. I think I probably can. I think I'd probably just take Traveling Players here. Traveling Players getting a stone and then Reno well next round is okay. Yeah. Yeah. Or I could Reno Pottery. Traveling Players get a clay and then Reno Pottery. It's more food before the round 7 harvest, but well is probably better long term. Plus FS, food to piggy. Okay, so if we could trigger piggy bank in round 7. Oh, Joshy's playing Pickler here. I'm a little surprised by that, because it means Joshy's passing 6 wood next round. But Tuileries Garden is pretty happy to see Pickler. I've got fertile soil, although Joshy probably took that plow plow, the one that gives extra goods on your fields. Well, if I can do Reno into a 6 clay action, that would be pretty amazing, but I have a feeling both the 6 clay actions will be... Actually, maybe they won't be. Maybe the 6 clay... Well, aqwty might take both of them. Although aqwty might 6 clay into build here. If aqwty... No, aqwty took 6 wood. Okay. Thought aqwty was going to build 6 clay into build. I kind of like that line. Seed plow. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. This looks quite strong. Additional crop in each field when you use plow sow. Looks quite strong. Also, it's very flexible. Is it strictly better than crooked plow? Because it's cheaper, 2 occupation instead of 3, and it not only does what crooked plow does on plow and field, but it also has an extra ability on plow sow. Yeah. Probably we shouldn't have cards that are like strictly better versions of other cards. Alright, we're renovating, building the well here, and crossing our fingers we get one of those 6 clay actions back. Well, Joshy took fish, so that's good. Spella would like a cooking hearth with their... oh no, Spella already has a cooking hearth. I mean, I do think aqwty should build a clay room, but... Maybe they're going to take reedstone food or something because they are rushing up to a stone house. Not sure what's happening. Not sure what the plan is. I thought 6 clay into build was a slam dunk because then you can start play around 7 and build. But maybe they feel they don't have enough food? I don't know. You got to get food somehow. I get one of the 6 clay actions. It was reedstone food. Yeah, rushing up to a stone house, it looks like, is the play for aqwty. So what's the payoff? Maybe noble? Maybe officer? They don't really have the food for officer. Might be noble. So family growth coming out late is pretty amazing for me because I've gotten all this time to set up, and I'll still get into the family growth queue where I would like to. But yeah, this is quite gross. Plus FRG, and then I put a food to the piggy bank. And first action 7 clay if it comes to me. Yeah, Red Dirt Girl does seem quite strong. Dead branches. Alright, let's see where Joshy marks. So we're going to build the clay oven at the end of this round with piggy bank. I like that better than stone oven here, because of the extra food I think is relevant. And I got the well, so I'm not so worried about the one fewer point compared to stone oven. Day labor, grain, and fishing. I guess with Joiner, Joshy likes all those spaces kind of uniquely. Haven't seen an obvious reason to take grain, but I mean, you might just want to take grain because you need grain at some point. aqwty's gonna first action Basket Maker's Workshop. Yeah, because they starve if they don't get the Basket Maker's Workshop, I guess. So it is theoretically possible we get the 7 clay here. Also, if aqwty doesn't join the family growth queue, and Spella and Joshy don't build any more rooms, boarding school could be quite ridiculous for me. Spella's gonna start player. Man, I get the 7 clay. So I'm definitely the beneficiary of some unusual play, I would say. FRG. Can you fence oversee more than once per round? I'm pretty sure it literally says once per round. Yeah, I was worried we wouldn't get either clay pile. We got both. Yeah, you're right. JP says no, it doesn't. Pretty sure. Fence overseer. The once has a weird bracket in front of it. Where's the weird bracket? Each round for a cost of 1 food. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's once. Sorry, arguing with room 4. Should I build a room? I don't need to build a room. I can do anything with this game. I guess I pick up a reed so that I can double build next round. So I could take 2 clay again. Or I could take reed stone food if I want a stone. I guess I'm just taking 2 clay, and then I can build rooms next round, plus FRG. Why do I have to build? Oh, because Spella could first action build? That's true. I don't mind if Spella jumps me, though. F to pig. I'll build the clay oven, baking a grain. Bake 1, feed 4. I get 6 wood or build. I think it's fine. If Spella 6 woods, then I build 2 rooms, and if Spella builds, then I get 6 wood. So I'm happy either way. I probably didn't have to first action build because Spella will very likely family growth with their second action, but I think this is fine. It's maybe a little safe. Maybe safer than I needed to be. So I kind of like playing Tavern Keeper here. Yes. Yeah, Grace says exactly what yeah. Yep, you're right about that. I could just second action Occupation Tavern Keeper. I think that's fine. Do I want to keep dumping resources onto Piggy? Not really. I think I won't. Let's see if I get this 3 stone action. The 3 stone action is pretty appealing. If I get the 3 stone, then I can just build the pottery, for example. If I don't get the 3 stone, I kind of like Occupation Tavern Keeper here. Officer, there it is. There's the officer. So I do get the 3 stone. Unless I want to take 4 wood. But the 3 stone basically guarantees that I build the pottery. So I think the 3 stone looks pretty good. Or I could build the stone oven and get a bunch more food that way. Yeah, if you take 3 stone, like continuing to Piggy. Yes, that's true. I don't know if I want to use the Piggy just to get the 2 clay fireplace, though. I could play Tuileries, that's true. I feel like I need Tuileries quite a bit less now compared to everything else. Like, I feel like Tuileries is like pretty inefficient compared to everything else that I can do now. I mean, it's still fine, but... And, I mean, plow is a good action. I'm going to want to plow a bunch. So if I can family growth 2 rounds in a row, I can round 9 family growth, play boarding school on the minor, round 10 family growth, trigger boarding school, and then the boarding school person comes in round 13. That's when I could play Tavern Keeper and Bridge Farmer for 2 points, or Tavern Keeper and Clay Curator. Piggy, I mean, I'm gonna need food to pay for Piggy, right? I'm gonna need to continue to take food, and the one thing that this game does not do particularly well is take food. I mean, I can always go on the So Bake space, and the So Bake space is better if I do Tuileries. Let's do it. Food to pig. I mean, we can always put 1 there, and if we don't continue, we can continue to reevaluate. I'm not just putting 1 food there doesn't commit me to putting all 6 there. And I guess I have the well food coming in too. The well food helps. I mean, boarding school ends up pretty decent if I don't build any more clay rooms. Raise your veggies. That's a good point. Yep. I mean, Clay Curator and Tavern Keeper. I guess Tavern Keeper, not Tavern Keeper, Clay Curator and Bridge Farmer. Bridge Farmer is a 2 point. Oh no, I can't play. What am I saying? I can't play Bridge Farmer anymore. I already did my renovation. Yeah, I guess it's really just Clay Curator. Yeah, I mean, if I build more rooms, then Tavern Keeper works, but. I mean, I think I'm going to get all the family growth actions either way. Like, it doesn't seem like... Like, Spella might rejoin the family growth queue, but I don't know that anybody else is all that likely to. I do like playing an occupation here, because if I oc, then I can play Brazier on family growth, or Tuileries on family growth. Yeah, Brazier on family growth, and then set up Tuileries plow next round. Yeah, so if I'm going to do that, I could oc Tavern Keeper here. Get some food and grain, more food and grain, and clay. Something, an automatic bait card would have been quite nice this game. Joshy's fished a lot this game. There's been a lot of fishing. I'm going to first action plow after Tuileries is out for the rest of the game. Family growth, play Brazier. Eat the F2 pig. So vegetable to 1, 2, 3, and then feed 5, food to pig, plus FG tavern keeper. Interesting Shepherd's Crock, yeah. I don't even know when they played Shepherd's Crock. On Family Growth, I guess. Yeah, I was focused. I guess I was thinking about Officer at the time. Did they just take the 2 sheep? Or were the sheep already there? I have to say, I'm pretty happy to see Spella fence, because it means Spella's not going to build again. Because Spella certainly could have built again. Shepherd's Crook. I've always read it as crock. And what am I thinking of? Am I thinking of like crock pot? I guess a crook is what this thing is, obviously. It's the hook. Oh, I see. I was muted? No, I wasn't muted. That made me confused. Yeah, it's okay. So HRKLJ, what a lot of people do is they get the version that's translated in their language, and then they go off of that. And so that's fine if you do that. But you have to actually, like, you know, when we say go look it up, you know, you gotta listen to us and go do it. Or else I think some of the Chinese players, they have like a Google Doc where they've translated, like one of them has translated all the cards from English into Mandarin or whatever, and then they use that as a reference guide. But yes, there is a huge language component to playing this game. Absolutely. Who is getting FRG? I hope aqwty is not taking that stuff from my... Oh, feed. Okay, they're saying feed. Feed a reed and a grain. Good. So, I'll take the 4 wood pretty highly. So I think Spella is probably taking the 6 wood. Although Spella might take the 3 boar. If Spella first action takes the 3 boar, I'll 6 wood, family growth, hope to last action plow with Tuileries. Although, what am I saying? Joshy's going to start player to 6 wood. I forgot Joshy had another action still. This card is a field. This card is not a field tile. Yeah. Yeah, that certainly would make things difficult. Spella really wants to keep wood in their supply for some reason. I don't know what that is, but forgot to animal dealer. Joshy did not start player. What did Joshy do last action? That wasn't start player into 6 wood. Joshy took the 3 sheep. Well, 6 wood looks pretty great. I might, if we're really greedy, I might get to piggy bank stone oven or pottery. Useful now for food. Well, I mean, I have a decent amount of grain coming in. I can bake one more time. Yeah. Yeah, card is quite good. Joshy's got Hedgemaster here. So all these players are getting their fencing done pretty quickly, which should be good for me for getting wood later in the game. Although Joshy does have joinery in play. So Joshy will keep taking wood. Spella, I don't know. I would definitely consider building another room if I'm in Spella's seat. Maybe try to reno to clay first and then build a clay room, but... And then you build a stable with your 2 wood. Spella might be going for reno pottery. Yep. They take 1 stone. Was it? Did I get 3 stone last round? I think it was 2 stone. There was 2 stone. Yeah. I can mention that they should have 1 more stone. Yeah. It's hard to police everybody else's game, so it's nice that you guys are doing it for me. They did say plus S, okay. So I just need Spella not to plow, and I wheel plow here, which is pretty great with Tuileries. So if I take clay one more time, then 3 reed ends up being pretty solid, because that's enough for 2 rooms, assuming I don't do anything with pottery or any other clay improvements. Aqwty, because it's got the W in there. Yeah, maybe. Man, Traveling Players has been hot this game. Got taken at 1 food. It's got taken at 2 a food a couple times. Not the best art director game ever. F to pig. Aqwty. I guess I just look at QTY and I see QTY and I think cutie. Aqwty. aqwty. Aqw, thank you. Old Hog Pen. Yeah, this card looks pretty cool. Nice combo with Shepherd's Crook. Yep, 2 immediate fields, really good. The 4 clay is pretty great if I just get 1 more clay from Clay Seller, which I want to play Clay Curator, so I could do that. But plowing, you know what? Aqwty needs the reed. Yeah, I'm going to take the 4 reed here. Build 2 more rooms. Yeah, that's a good point. Could have rearranged nicely here. I'll point that out. Maybe not. I don't want to overwhelm people when we're playing. I could point it out later at the end of the game. Cutie Cloister Brewer here. Okay. There was the Don't Harvest from Your Fields card in the game. So that card could be pretty good with Cloister Brewer. But yeah, I think they probably should have built a clay room instead of letting me get both the massive clay actions. Yeah, it looks like Joshy's setting up to only plow one time with seed plow. Well, I wheeled the plow, which is pretty great. Take another veg and sow it. Spella built the stone oven. Okay. So we're hoping to get the pottery with piggy bank. Joshy builds a fireplace. Oh, with probiotic food, right. Right. Maybe I should take the 4 clay this round just to prevent anyone else from taking it. And if I do that, I might be buying myself the pottery at the end of round 13. My plan to feed. Well, I was thinking I could take clay and then build 2 rooms. And if I do that, I get I get 2 food from Tavern Keeper, and then I can brazier 1 vegetable. Yeah, take clay and build. Yeah, I agree with Gray. It's not enough to piggy bank. I could eat a raw grain if I need to. Is it not? I get a food from Tavern, food from the clay grab. Yeah, you're right. So I'd have to eat a raw grain. That's fine. I get a grain from Red Dirt Girl. Tavern gives the points per room, per empty room, but it doesn't give food per room. I get 6 wood. Yeah, the wood is pretty low priority. And if I don't get 6 wood, I probably get 4 wood, 3 wood. So the game is being quite kind. Introduced species. Receive 1 vegetable, build a stable at no cost. This card looks extremely good. It's 1 wood for a stable, which is fine, and then you just get a free vegetable. Looks very strong. Joshy doesn't have the fireplace. Right. Oh, he put it back, but his farm hasn't updated. Oh, he removed he put the probiotic back to his farm. That's weird. Because he put the fireplace back on his farm, but it's weird because the fireplace is on the board. I've never seen that. Aqwty with the anti-cloister dweller fencing. Yes, that's right. Good. This looks correct. Joshy plowed. They're just so the thing about this game, which is funny, is you kind of need to find your edges where you have an advantage over your opponents. And then one of the things that people struggle with is they understand they need to find the edge and play off of their cards, but then they don't really get that, whether it's, they understand that that is correct, but they don't understand the situation in which your cards are correct to play or not. Like, I think people see me play all 14 cards in my hand, and they're like, okay, that's what I should do to win. And it's like, well, no, only if the hand lends itself to a good game, you should be doing that. Which, I mean, I do that when the hand doesn't lend itself to a good game, so. Start player round 13 to get plow, or, yeah. Yeah, because plow is actually better than plow so for me, since it gets me an extra vegetable. But yes, fertile soil certainly on family growth. Looks like 4 wood comes back. I don't even know if I need... I mean, 4 wood pays for harrow, I suppose. No, it's not strictly better, because Joshy will really appreciate me passing him plow, so right. And if I'm competing with him for pickler, yeah, art director is okay. Or I was thinking I could bake with my last action. Art director is 2 fewer food, but it doesn't eat the grain, of course, which is nice. Contract builder. Well, Clay Curator says all my clay rooms have an extra point on them. I can't get enough food to use contract builder. Maybe I can use it for stables, but yeah, I need a lot of food still. Yeah, fencing looks... plowing or trowing players looks fine. I kind of like So Bake, though, and maybe trowing players next round. Each clay room is 2.5 points. Yep. Rooms are half a point. Every 2 rooms. I'm getting it backwards. I was thinking the clay improvement. The fact that Clay Curator gives a point for each clay improvement is like incredibly strong. Yeah, every 2 rooms. Yeah. Stone oven's gone. I'll take 3 food traveling players next round. I think if I didn't have so much wood, the contract builder would be more tempting, but because I have so much wood, it's not really that tempting to me. Because the pastures are worth points as well. I'm interested to see what Spella does here. He's going to eat all those cattle. Could eat 3 cattle and a boar for 15 food. Build a couple rooms. And a plow. So interesting. Alright. I'm going to start player hero here. So I think I value traveling players decently highly here. I might second action traveling players, assuming plow is not available. Contract and family growth. Oh, family growth with room, you mean? Yeah, right. Oh, they're saying hero. Yep. Yeah, this board is pretty bad. I guess I could fence. Thing is, Spella's gonna family growth. Joshy can't. Joshy could fence, but he's gonna take wood first. I'm gonna do this, get plus F clay. F wood might be better if I end up building stables, but I can also build stables on the contract builder space. Not that I have that much excess food. Piggy's work phase. Should double check its work phase. Yep. I guess I did that in round 7. I bought and then used the food from buying to feed. Yeah, with both the 3 stone actions available, it's 3 points, right? Josh, you just took 4 wood. I think I'm going to fence with my next move, since there should be pairs of animals available in round 14. I can fence and take cattle and then maybe try to get 2 boar in round 14. Yeah, I think the fact that I'm going to win the pickler just makes it not really close with everything else that I'm doing. Yeah, Clay Curator is going to be pretty good. Spell out Family Growth Vegetable Harvest. Go ahead and fence here. Fence 14. I think Clay Curator is probably too strong. Probably it should be like Stone Curator and give a point for every 2 clay improvements. Yeah, because the fact that it works on all the major improvements, like it works on more major improvements than Stone Curator does. Now, Stone Curator is more difficult because stone is more difficult to acquire, but yeah, and I got past both of them, which was quite fortunate. I'm going to take 1 cattle here. Guess I could do last action, take both the 3 stone actions. I guess I'm looking at Joshy can reno. If I 3 stone, I could 3 stone, 3 stone. If I 3 stone, 3 stone, I am threatening Joshy's ability to reno fence, and Joshy certainly wants reno fence. So yeah, 3 stone, 3 stone is probably fine. I think take the food on clay accumulation might be... I mean, it gives you a reason to play the card early, and I guess that's a nice part about Stone Curator. But I think getting a food on clay accumulation spaces might be a little strong. Just because they come out earlier, like that'd be a reason to play in... Right. But the fact that clay comes out in stage 1, you know, stone doesn't. There's no stone accumulation spaces in stage 1, and even when stone comes out in stage 2, you don't usually want to take it till stage 3. I don't know. I think it could. It's probably going to be pretty good still. I think there are a lot of clay improvements. Food to pig by the pottery. I cannot believe I got the pottery here. That's pretty crazy. Plus FG Tavern Keeper. Feed 8 plus C. And I'll eat a vegetable as well. So plus V from Tuileries. Yeah, exactly. Stone Curator, the fact that it gives the food doesn't matter. So 3 vegetable to make sure I win Pickler. The fertile soil does. It lets you one time use plus, so that way. I think aqwty is the only person who can tie us, and that's by taking one vegetable, so I'm not really too worried. I can keep at, I could stay at 5 vegetable. I don't need to eat the vegetable. I win Pickler either way. No one's touching me at 5. Unless aqwty sows and then also takes one vegetable. I guess that's the only way that they could do it. So they took a vegetable. Now they would have to get a sow action as well. And they'd have to sow just to take points away from me, not actually gain any more points themselves, because I'm fine with tying with aqwty. Grab a pair of boar here. aqwty can get to 6, but yeah, getting to 6 is just taking away points from me. So sheep's 2 points, unless I build a fireplace on Reno. I could be pretty mean in Reno fence here, but Clay Curator's worth a lot, so I think I'm just going to play it here. Oh, I don't need the fireplace. I can brazier the sheep. I forgot about that. So if I eat a clay, I can eat a clay. If I take clay, I can eat another clay, and then brazier a sheep if I get the... No, the 2 sheep are gone. I brazier my boar then. And then I get a food from Tavern Keeper. So food from Tavern Keeper and brazier a boar looks good. Joshy Harrowed, yeah, I already got the food from that. So take clay and then... oh, I can eat a raw... If I take clay, I can eat another raw grain too. Yeah, I'm not going to build the fireplace. I forgot that I could brazier... I'm not braziering a vegetable, so I can brazier an animal instead. Oh, fireplace is worth a point. That's a good point. With Clay Curator. Right. Yeah, good call. It's the fact that it's every 1 improvement is pretty crazy. Oh man. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 points right now for Clay Curator, assuming I Reno. If I don't need to eat clay, it's a wash. Yeah. Yep. This is a pretty tame contract builder game, I have to say. I guess it came out pretty late. And Joshy kind of had himself cut off from building any more rooms. So if I eat a clay, then I don't have to eat my boar. And then I can eat a raw grain and the food from Tavern Keeper. Clay, food, grain. Yeah, and then I still get to 8 with Tavern Keeper. Yeah, that seems reasonable. I guess there's still a chance that aqwty goes to 6 vegetable. And if they do, then I could always just eat a vegetable. And that's worth a bunch as well. I'm feeling really tired. I guess I need to eat some good food. I've just kind of ate a bunch of junk today. I need to eat good food, give myself good energy. Plus FG, eat a clay. So curator, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points. 1 point from Tavern Keeper. Breed the boar. And then I assume I get 3 points from Pickler. So looks like I score 64. Oh! Oh! Oh, I see. Okay. If you live in a clay hut, you don't get points from miners. Ah, okay. Better not to reno then. Can I major then? Was major minor available? I think major minor was available. I missed that. It's only points if you end the game with the clay. Too late. I think major was available. Whoops. Alright. Whoops. Stone. So I end the game like this, and then Clay Curator is worth 8 points. So then I end the game at 61 instead. The old minus 2 point action, yeah. Well, no one was really close, so yeah, it didn't matter. So Joshy 48, aqwty 32, 44 for Spella, 61 for me, GG. Yeah, I got past some really stupidly good cards. I have a feeling that the language barrier for Spella made it difficult for them to correctly evaluate these cards. which I think I probably benefited hugely from. So yeah. Yeah. GG. If I can get another game right away, I'll do another game. But if I'm going to have to wait for a bit, then I need to go make food or something. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this little video. And if you're on Twitch, we'll try to get another game going. See you in a bit.